Thank you so much, Dumi. Yeah, girl, we decided to bring the boys first and let them lead us. And joining us in the loft is Chef Dion. Welcome back, Chef.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here again.
Absolutely. And Chef Jay looking absolutely suave.
Girl, I've got you as my role model, so I can't let you down.
Guess who is sucking up? No, listen, I should be sucking up to you because you guys are about to deliver the perfect tips, tricks, and hacks to perfect an egg. Now, behold the deliciousness of a perfectly boiled egg, packed with protein, easy to prepare, with a sunshiny center. These 6-minute eggs are utter perfection. I mean, look at them. Couldn't get any better.
Gorgeous, eh? Bright, yellow, shiny. It's egg week here in the Afternoon Express loft, and boiling an egg seems easy.
Yeah.
But Chef Dion is here to show us the real deal.
I think it's more difficult than it kind of seems.
Absolutely, and it's all about the timing, I've seen.
Of course. I mean, you could throw it in there and then you'd have one of these eggs like you go to your auntie's house for Christmas. But it's like blue eggs in the potato salad.
You know those. So this is how to avoid that. I mean, the center, that yolk is shiny. It is just golden, I believe. And it's all about also just the method that you're about to talk us through.
Yeah.
So lead the way.
I think the most important thing to start with any egg preparation is try to use fresh eggs. Because what happens to the egg when it gets old, the velocity of the egg white gets much more runnier. So when you cook it, it doesn't sort of cook at the same time, or it kind of undercooks, so it gets this watery texture. You'll notice if your egg is fresh and you crack it onto a plate, the egg white doesn't run everywhere.
Yes.
Kind of stays together.
Okay.
That helps in giving you a perfect poached egg or your boiled egg or your fried egg as well. Another tip is make sure that your water is at boiling point. So you have these rapid bubbles coming to the top like little frog eyes. That's the way
I like that. They actually do look like frog eyes.
Yeah. And then at that point, it's the optimal time when you would add your eggs to it.
Okay.
And then just remember now, if you add your eggs to cold water and you bring it to a boil, it's going to be difficult for you to actually monitor the amount of time that it's been cooking for.
Yes.
To have that soft, runny egg yolk or have that really hard egg yolk, depending on what you're using it for. And then secondly, make sure that you have one of these spiders so you can gently drop your eggs inside of it, because if you just throw it into the water, it's most likely going to tap the bottom of the pot, and it's going to crack the egg, which is going to sort of seep some of its egg white out, which is going to not give you that perfect round oval shape.
You know what Balisa does? I just throw it in and hope for the best. So this is a lovely way to monitor that. Okay, I see what you're doing.
I've got my timer out, so are we going to time this? Or do
Let's time this.
How many minutes are we going to go?
We can go for 6 minutes.
Let's go for 6 minutes, okay.
That's my favorite egg.
I'm going to click start on my phone there. And while we wait for those eggs to boil, Chef, you mentioned earlier about those eggs overboiled, going a bit blue. Why is that? Like, why does that actually happen?
Okay, perfect time for that question. So over here we have a bowl of ice water. Like, I got a lot of ice in here. You can't even keep your hand in here for a few seconds. That's how cold it is. Because you want that. Like, if you think about your egg, there's a membrane that's sort of separated from the shell and the actual protein or the egg inside of it. So what happens is when you're cooking it, that sort of membrane gets agitated, so that's when your egg sort of sticks to the outside of that membrane of the shell itself.
Yeah, I see.
So when you take it from your boiling water and you add it directly into your ice water to cool down immediately, rapidly, it sort of lifts it away from that membrane. It makes it easier to peel.
Oh, yes.
But the reason for it discoloring, right, it's an oxidization. So there's little small porous holes in eggs. Like, you see people put a fresh truffle inside of a jar with eggs, and if you leave it there for 3 weeks or so, the egg actually takes on the flavor of the truffle.
Oh, wow.
Because it kind of breeds as well. So when you boil it, and I take this egg, if I leave it out at room temperature without shocking it, it will eventually start going blue because of that oxidization that occurs in it.
And we're not about blue eggs in our potato salad.
Definitely not. It seems as if, look, it's a science within itself. I just also want to dispel a little myth that I heard. I heard that if you don't want your egg to crack in the boiling pot, you just put a dash of salt in there. Is that true?
It is, because what salt does is, if you think about it, if you're in like the Caspian Sea or wherever, you can float in the ocean, like completely, because the salt kind of keeps you afloat. That's one of the reasons, and it is true, I guess.
Well, bravo to you.
Well done.
If you want to try this at home and you want to perfect an egg, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. But let's keep the good times rolling.
And how are we looking over there, Chef? We are 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you keep counting.